It's not moving. Maybe it's not even alive.
United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Will you?
Okay, reboot. Good evening. I'd like to call to order Elk Grove Park District regularly scheduled meeting for June 13th, 2024. Could I get a roll call, please?
President Walls,
Here.
Commissioner Becky,
Here.
Commissioner Carlson,
Here.
Commissioner Cook,
Here.
Commissioner O'Malley.
Here.
First order of business is approval of minutes. May 23rd, 2024, regular scheduled meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
None one's opposed. Passes 5-0. Next one is May 23rd, 2024, closed session meetings. I need a motion and a second.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Okay. Commissioner Becky,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Cook,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Yes.
President Wells.
Yes. Recognition of special guests. We have Jennifer Lebosco from Early Childhood Manager, if you'd like to come up.
Sure, thank you.
No worries.
So good evening. In every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. Find the fun and snap. The job is a game, or a puzzle, so to speak. In the end, the goal is to have an impressionable memory or unique learning experience, or create a process that is smarter and more innovative. And this is us. This is the Elk Grove Park District Preschool. Katy Perry sang it best in Firework. We are a firework. Even in the face of adversity, unprecedented challenges, and broken hearts, we remain a firework, and we strive to inspire, awe, and grow as public servants, professionals, and greater citizens. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jennifer Lebosco. I'm a parent, a wife, a Park District patron, and have been a resident for 17 years. I've had the privilege of working alongside our staff, who some are here tonight, the children and the families of Elk Grove and the greater community, many from my own neighborhood on the west side, for 14 years. This includes, but is not limited to, preschool, ACES, Hattendorf camps, and the current work in progress is the Polish dual language preschool class in the fall. But honestly, my 14 years pale in comparison to the longevity and commitment of the teachers and the staff that make up our team. For some, this is their first year. Ta-da! But for many, they have served for 15, 20, and 25 plus years. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge all of the Elk Grove Park District preschool teachers and staff by name. Some are here tonight, and some wish they could be here but could not. Maggie Aparo, Kristen Balmes, Cindy Balicki, Colleen Clordy, Amy Ellison, Mary Ellen Fouth, Mindy Gray, Juliana Gonzalez, Jessica Massett, Diane McDermott, Carmela McNiff, Susie Molenkamp, Kathy Parks, Anna Shaw, Cheryl Steffens, Linda Weissar, Sarah Zapperzal, Rosalie Farina, Judy Kinsella, our preschool education assistant Debbie Quinn, and our preschool program assistant Kimberly Denna, and our preschool nurse Amanda Giamatti. It is, in fact, these teachers and the preschool that are the gateway and the lifeline to the mainland of the Park District. We serve the youngest of patrons, and we play a mighty role in working intentionally and purposefully to win over the minds and the hearts of the families. So several years ago, a former executive director said to me, "Jen, each year they," meaning the families, "say we trust you with our most prized possession, our children. Preschool is the proof in the pudding. Keep up the great service that you continually provide our community." Well, I took that pudding comment to heart back then, and I still take it to heart today. The families we serve are looking for hands-on, unique experiences, and at the end of the day, how we make all the people in our community feel. So with that, we would like to share some recent family testimonials and some feedback. So at this time, I'd like to call up Debbie Quinn, our preschool education assistant.
Hello.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. My name is Debbie Quinn. I am the preschool education assistant. I have been with the Park District Preschool for 26 years. We are now a NECPA accredited preschool, and we give out surveys. We are required to give out surveys to our families twice a year. These testimonials that Ms. Lebosco is talking about, they come directly from the comment section of the survey. These are from the spring. There's a very long list, but I've just picked a few to read to you today. They go by rooms, and these are coming from the 4s. Thank you for the incredible support and guidance you have provided our child this year. I am grateful for the wonderful teachers. The teachers in this program are absolutely wonderful. We would recommend this program over and over again. I came here as a child and so proud to have my children starting here now too. We have loved watching our 3 children grow up in the program over the last 6 years. Everyone here truly cares for each of them as invested in their success. It feels like a family. My kids have learned so much and have truly been impacted in such a wonderful way by their teachers. As they grow, I assure these teachers will always have a special place in their hearts. We love the Hattendorf Preschool, and we would recommend it unequivocally, and the loving, incredible teachers. Comments from the Threes families. Excellent work, ladies. My son loves school. Very well put together preschool. Highly recommend it. Everybody has been great to work with. Amazing staff, amazing classrooms, amazing programs with teachers who make a difference. It's great. My child really enjoys the school year. Thank you. Best program ever. I would like to say thank you to all these families, and thank you for choosing to share their children with us. And thank you to all of you.
Thank you.
I have received since graduation 2 particular emails that no parent had to write with preschool having been done, but they did, and I wanted to share those. So I have 2 to share, and I have received permission to share them. So here we go. The first one, Mrs. Labosco, my daughter Haley Lombardo graduated this past Wednesday. I wanted to reach out to you regarding our experience these last 2 years. Haley is our oldest, so not only was she starting a new chapter in her life last year, so were we. She was in Mrs. Steffens and Mrs. Molenkamp's class. I can only hope that every parent sending a child to school for the first time has an experience like we did. Actually, maybe not, because they set the bar too high for what to expect in teachers. From Meet the Teacher event all the way up until this Wednesday, their kindness and caring is ever present. We always knew when we dropped her off, she was in good hands. Whenever Haley would see one of them, this year it was the first thing she mentioned at pickup. Haley was in Mrs. McDermott and Mrs. Weissar and Mrs. Bauma's class this year. Originally, we had signed her up for a 4-day class, and we're so grateful that we made the switch to a 5-day and ended up in their room. Any concern we had was addressed promptly. Towards the end of the year, we had some questions and were hoping to have a chat with them. They quickly evaluated Haley so we could talk, and by the end of the week, had a meeting that put our minds at ease. Most days, Haley's report on her day was not about what she did, but about her teachers and her love for them. If her report home wasn't about any of the above 5, it was about Miss Massett at lunch. When I would go to the door on her lunch days and see Mrs. Massett, I would have a little sigh of relief. Everyone was always nice, but I knew she knew Haley very well, and Haley really liked her. Haley's stories of her always made her giggle or feel confident, like when Haley helped her set up an activity that we inevitably had to recreate at home. I would often look in the rearview mirror after she finished her Mrs. Massett update, and she would just sit there and smile. Writing this, I now realize that without the daily updates from the teachers on the app, I would have no clue what Haley did most days learning-wise. But quite frankly, that's okay, because I knew she was happy with the women who were helping us shape and raise her. We're taking a year off from preschool life, but then have 3 more coming your way, and they will be entering consecutively. We hope to see these teachers all again. I'm unsure which would be worse. Someone leaves, or they are in different teaching pairings, and we would need to choose one over the other. And it would be it's almost like the scary emoji that she has here written. Haley will be splashing away with Kitty Summer Fun, another thing both she and we love for her. We are already discussing next summer, where it will be her last in that program and our son's first. Nikki and Matt Lombardo. I have one more from another family who just randomly sent this to us after having reflected on their experiences with our preschool. Good evening to the board, and we apologize for not being able to attend this meeting in person. However, we did not want to miss the opportunity to share our experiences about a top-notch program within our community. We have just completed our 2nd year with the Elk Grove Park District Preschool. Our daughter Brooke participated in both the 3-year-old and the 4-year-old programs and is now off to kindergarten this fall with the confidence, foundation, and readiness to thrive. Our son Owen has just completed the 3-year-old program and is beyond excited to return to the Al Hattendorf Center in the fall. This preschool program was not only our children's first experience being away from mom and dad, but also their first exposure to a structured early childhood education environment. We were quite impressed by the facilities that the program houses, the classrooms, the gym space, and the outdoor playgrounds. It all simply radiates the epitome of a preschool environment that is of the highest quality. The initial nerves that we felt from this major milestone of preschool for our children immediately dissipated once we met their incredible teachers. The teachers on staff beam with positivity, excitement, energy, passion, pride, and love. It is a testament to this program and community how long some of these teachers have been here. Knowing that our children are being dropped off each morning with teachers who are genuinely devoted to not only their education, but also their social and emotional development is beyond comforting. We know that when our children are away from us, they are safe, loved, nurtured, and given individual attention. The teachers meet each child where they are at and support them with developmentally appropriate routines, activities, and play-based opportunities. Also, the teachers' communication tools are absolutely amazing, and every day we're sent daily notes and frequent fun pictures. The program goes above and beyond the curriculum to create memorable opportunities for the children and special end-of-the-year events. The final note we would like to add is how incredible it is that the Elk Grove Park District Preschool has many different times, days, add-on extended program options to customize and best accommodate each family's needs. We truly appreciate and value having this program within our own community. It is a home away from home for these pivotal years in children's lives and prepares them for continued years of success and love of learning. The Elk Grove Park District Preschool is a gem and integral part of our community. We could not be more proud to live here and have access to this preschool. Sincerely, the Belpedio family, Christina, Mike, Brooke, and Owen. And when we asked Brooke and Owen their favorite parts of preschool, they said, everything. Their teachers and how much fun they had. So thank you to those families and all the families that have supported us. In conclusion and in reflection, I just have a little something to add. I want to congratulate the Park District and the residents of the preschool on their 53rd year. I'd like to thank former colleagues that have carried us right to this moment. A huge thank you to our superintendent, Doug Cedar, for supporting the proof in the pudding, and a huge thank you to Debbie Quinn and Kim Denna for their think tank passion. That's exactly what we need. The teachers and the staff believe in our vision and make the magic possible and also expand on their own ideas. So a heartfelt thank you to them, to our families, and our children that believe in a million dreams and possibilities alongside us. For that, we are all a firework. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad you mentioned previous teachers. I know a few of them from long ago, and they set the foundation sometimes 20, 30 years ago. They've always been passionate. And thank you to you and all your staff and anybody that has to do with the preschool. So, anybody else?
Yeah, Jen, can you come to the microphone, because there's an acronym on who gave us the accreditation?
Yes.
And can you kind of talk about the rigors and or their expectations, because it's just not something they hand out to everybody. So can
Right.
you just brag about what you guys had to go through to get that? Because
Yes.
it's just not everybody.
So it's NECPA, National Early Childhood Program Accreditation, and their standards in their guidance falls under American Academy of Pediatrics and also falls under NACI. And it's very much a determinant for a high-quality program. Everyone can say that they do a phenomenal job, but when you meet all the criteria in a 900-page booklet of guidance, and you are awarded the accreditation, that right there is the signing of the deal. So it takes us an entire year to prepare for the auditor to come, and they're actually going to be coming in 2025, once again, and we will be getting ready for that. So we have an ECPA team that goes through each classroom, that works with the teachers, that collects the documents, that if we are not up to par with even items in the building, that we work with maintenance on that and those things, and the building manager. And we work alongside to our program assistant, Kimberly Denna, and our education assistant, Debbie Quinn, go through all those standards that need to be met in order to have that auditor come and identify and be able to observe that, yes, we are following those guidelines and we have demonstrated that excellence. And that's basically every 3 years that we have an auditor, and every year we have to maintain an annual process in order to stay in existence and in full accreditation. So the teachers work very hard. We have to be a team. We win as a team. There is no I here in order to get this job done. And I'm happy to say that in the 10 years that I've served as the manager, we have been able to achieve that and get that job done, and that proof is in the pudding too.
Very good.
Thank you.
I wanted to add a little bit and just congratulate your staff again. You're not able to have a program for 50 years if you're not doing something right. You don't see very many organizations even around for 50 years. Both my daughters went to the preschool. My wife taught there. Many of their friends who have kids now, their kids go there. So it really is a testament to the diligence and the job that we continue to maintain, and the commitment to that program. And just congratulations and kudos on your leadership to keep that tradition going now and into the future. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Another 50 years, we hope. Thank you.
I agree as well. You know, your dedication, your commitment is unbelievable to the students, to the families, to the Park District. You really do a great program. As you heard, as you shared with us, the residents love it. I hear when I talk to residents, it's always the entry into the Park District. You are that program. My 3 of my 4 children were in the program, and my second oldest, which was the first in the program, is now a senior, so at high school. So yeah, you do amazing things. So keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Yeah, my kids went through, and now my grandkids are. So.
Wow.
And you're
We
only
love it.
Watch out for them.
Wow.
They're a problem child. So I'm kidding.
We welcome all. We welcome all.
Thank you all. Because it's
Thank you.
more, like you say, it's a team, and that goes even past the teachers,
Sure does.
you know, so thank you to everybody there.
Thank you for having us tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, we are at public communication. Any comments from the audience? Alan?
Good evening, Mr. President. I appreciate you providing the opportunity for me to address the board. My name is Alan Kreitz. I've been a resident for more than 55 years. At the end of last month's meeting, I was provided a copy of the Elk Grove Park District Marshall Park Sound Study. I was so enthused about what was in the study that I took it home and I spent 3 hours reading it. I read every word, every comment, every concept, every piece of equipment, every possibilities for error or misconcept. And I'm pleased to announce that I'm very happy with what I read. I find this report magnificent. It's very thorough, very complete. It covers everything possible. I did not have any questions about what was in there. I provided no concept that was contrary to what was here. I find that everything that was in that report, and I scrutinized it,
Shocking.
I scrutinized it intensely, purposely to find something in error. I found nothing. I'm very happy to tell you that I am happy with the report. In my 60 years of engineering and employment, found nothing that is objectionable.
We're very happy to disappoint you, Alan. Anything else?
No, that's the end of my speech for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. Anybody else? Mrs. Cundiff and anybody else that speaks, can you just tell me your name? You don't have to do the address, just so for the record.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
All you have to do is, well, I'll do this one for you. This is Mrs. Cundiff. Anybody else, just tell me your name. It's for the record, that's all it's for.
Thank you very much. I'm representing 3 other people, 2 of whom are at board meetings of their own, and another one who got up at 3 o'clock this morning. I would just want to comment on the opening of the park, and I want to share with you comments that have been made by people. They were so delighted to have the children back, which is how we look at Marshall Neighborhood Park, is it is a place for children. We thought the splash pad was beautiful, and the equipment is excellent, and the xylophone was being used frequently. The walking pad is very nice. We'd appreciate it if you'd put some bicycle holders in, because the kids don't have a place to put their bicycles, and that would be very helpful. What we really enjoyed most with the opening of the park was to see the joy of the kids coming back. However, the downside of it, of course, as the week progressed, was the issue of the parking. The president of the 700 building of the condos came over to see me Wednesday, and he was very distressed that down Wellington, he had already counted 40 cars. An individual who lives on Wellington indicated to me that there was parking from Bysterfield, and I guess they went all the way in front of Bill's house on Shelley. So the parking, of course, is not the 63 that you were looking forward to, or the $24,000 that we might spend on 24 more places, but instead there were approximately 150 cars, somewhere in that nature, spread through the community. The issue of the parking is an issue that also tells you how many people are there. If we assume we're talking about 2 people per car, we were looking at about 300 people. And as a lot of people say, that's a lot of people. And as we take a look at what's on the agenda for next Tuesday, we are thinking that enough is enough. We welcome the children, we welcome the basketball, we welcome the soccer, okay? We welcome the walking path. There were kids in the park, a couple who had mitts with them and balls, and they were looking for a place to throw a ball. And of course, as I've talked to a couple of the commissioners previously, that's a big issue. And there's some place to have ultimately be able to play free. So much of what children do, and even within what you heard just previously, and I am a former teacher also, is so much of children's lives are structured. And so that a child could be able to kick a ball and play kickball, to play soccer, to throw up a net, to be able to play baseball with a bunch of other kids. That's part of the issue of the open space. I don't know what's going on with the detention pond, if it's going to be a little feature or it's going to be a big feature, but right now it's a concern to people in the neighborhood, okay? The other thing I want to bring you from another resident is, and it's something that made me very sad to hear it. He said, I've resigned myself. And I thought, why would anyone have to feel that for a change in their neighborhood, they're having to resign themselves, to take a look at an alternative lifestyle, to no longer be able to sit on their patio and do their work or share a conversation with their wife, but instead have to go into their building because their building is within 100 yards of what we're talking about, okay? I've looked around the community in the last 3 months and talked to lots of people, and I've talked to a lot of you. What's concerning me as I come away with those discussions is the number of people that are so reluctant to express themselves. And when you ask them how come, is they don't want to be signaled out. They don't want retribution. And that was a word that a woman used to me one day. And I said, what are you talking about? And I said, are you talking about people in your neighborhood? And she said, don't you understand, Connie? You can't have an opposite opinion anymore in our culture. And I think there's a segment of that within what's happened and with what's been revealed. And basically, I think what people are saying is right now, enough is enough. We've had 3 years of construction, 3 years of noise, 3 years of dirt and dust, okay? I spent my afternoon with my pulmonologist because the outcome of all the wind and the dirt and so on has finally taken my asthma to ground zero, okay? Can we just quit for now, okay? Wouldn't it really be better if we took a look at our park and let it develop and let our basketball develop and let the soccer develop and let the play develop and let the retention pond, whatever it is, settle and see where we're really at, okay? The park has a soccer field, a basketball court, a wonderful playground, a splash pad, and a walking path. That's 5 items in a park that's only 6.2. The smallest community park is what, 7, 8? How many features does it have in it? We looked in January to what are we going to do with the park? Are we going to add anything more to it? And maybe we should put something big in it. When we thought about putting something big in it, as the minutes reveal, there was no consideration of what people would think, or what they would feel, or what they would need. And so the question is, like our friend who says, I have to resign myself? We put a park in place that makes somebody feel that way about their lifestyle? I don't think so. I don't think you intended to do that. I don't think the neighborhood intends to have it happen, okay? And so what we would like you to do is to stop and take a look at what you got and take a look at some of the consequences of it. 150 cars is a lot of cars. And you already know that the parking on Chelmsford is a tremendous issue. We've had incidents already with the people parking on the west side and taking their strollers out and their little kids and peeking around the cars and trying to get across the street. It's dangerous, okay? And I know you'll solve that little by little. And I think that's probably what we need, is we need time to take a look and see what have we got and who is it for and how is it going to be used. It's lovely. I love the splash pad. And I wish I could put on my bathing suit and go in it, but I don't think I could survive the little kids. Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you. Anybody else? No one? Okay. Any correspondence?
Just,
Jerry? Oh,
yeah, there was 2 of them. 2 that I saw that was addressed to the board. 2 different people that live near Marshall that took the time and the energy to send an email to the board expressing their displeasure with the parking. So I wanted to acknowledge that it was read and it was heard, and that is part of
Well, it
correspondence.
wasn't just displeasure, it also addressed some suggestions, such
Well,
as
agreed.
putting a residential sticker, and that's something the villagers have to do. We don't control parking in the streets, but it wasn't just, it was negative that they didn't want parking in front of their house because they needed parking there. And wanted to know if there's a way to mitigate that, either through signage and/or a license program. So that's something we can maybe explore down the road, but, with the village, but, there was more than just complaining about the parking.
Agreed, but,
That's
they wrote the letter because they were displeased with
Right.
what they're seeing. Yes, they came up with their own suggestions that we may take into consideration or take into consideration.
Right.
But they did correspond with us. That's all I'm saying, is that we got them. I saw them.
Okay. No other correspondence? Comments, comments by the commissioners? Tom, you want to start? Do you have any?
Just a couple of comments, I guess, that I'll comment from Connie. That she loved the park, she loves the amenities for the kids, the walking path and everything we have there now. But we also represent adults and teens, and they have, like I said, through the community survey, asked for more, and not just the community survey, but also those participating in pickleball for more additional pickleball space. I know I don't want to beat a dead drum, but one of the reasons we looked at that location is because of the parking. Now, I realize there's a few days of grand opening, 95-degree weather day where you had some parking on the street. And we're never going to be able to commit and create enough parking that you'll never have parking on the street. But it's a lot less than our other parks if we ever were to move it to a different park. There's people that park on the street at J.C. Park. There's people from the funeral home that park on my street and block it down when there's a funeral every weekend. There's nothing guarantees that the street space, parking space in the street is always for your own use. So I just wanted to mention that. I want to, as far as open space, throwing a ball. Right now, it's limited because we're seeding everything, so there's hay on the whole open space area. Once that seed takes place, soccer's not going to be playing. They play in the spring and the fall. They don't play 7 days a week. There's going to be a lot of open space there for kids to throw a ball and to do different activities in that park, even with the pickleball courts there. You mentioned 3 years. I don't know, but it's been in dust for 3 years. It doesn't seem like it's been that long. Has it been 3 years?
Yeah.
Oh, the old building. Okay, you're counting that.
The
Okay.
village did that, that wasn't
Not
us.
It was us.
That was, we had to do that. Okay, so I didn't know you're taking the whole building. The detention area that you see there, just to clarify, that's gonna be, correct me if I'm wrong, a dry basin. So only during a heavy rain, it's meant to take away from the houses and the park and bring it into that location, and then it'll slowly filter off through the village sewer. Okay, at a certain time rate that they lock in. So that will not be always wet or water retained, right? It'll be a dry retention, similar to like we have over by Rainbow Falls and the inline courts over there. You have that big ditch there. 90% of the time it's dry. It's not filled with water except for a heavy rain. So it's going to improve the water retention and water potential for flooding there by having that retention there. What else? I have open space. Bike holder. I did like that idea. We talked to Mark, put that on our list for bike holding. And I can commit that if the village approves this next Tuesday, that I will continue to be an advocate for any mitigation. Alan mentioned a little bit about the sound study. The sound study, it's great. It says there shouldn't be a problem. But until it's up and if there is additional problems or additional noise that we didn't anticipate, I'm committed to find solutions to try and mitigate that to those area residents around there, okay? But, the usage of the park, yeah, there's a lot there, but it's not all at the same time. Like I said, soccer is spring and fall. The splash pad is only in the summertime and during the hot days, so it's not gonna be during bad weather or if it's cold out. And that could also be modified by us as far as the time that it's open if we need to adjust it down the road because of other events there or something. I just wanted to set record straight on a couple things you mentioned And from my standpoint, I gotta look at all the residents and the benefits to the community at that park. And then, yes, if it affects some of the area residents that live right there, close by, do anything I can to mitigate that, and I can commit that we will do that as best we can. That's all I have to say.
Scott?
Well, he pretty much said what I was gonna.
Bob? Bill?
Yeah, Tom said it well. I think something that has to be said, though, is, I hope this board is open to change and, it doesn't get locked into whatever they said. Over the last week, 2 different days, I spent a couple hours there talking to other residents, talking to some people in Connie's association, hearing their pros, their cons, seeing other people. Yes, parking is a problem right now, but I do agree with Tom, and I hope that some of the residents around there do understand that in my mind, it's a novelty. People are excited because something just opened. First time a splash pad's on the east side. First time there's a great playground like that. I personally know of people that are inviting non-residents to the park. I can't control that right now. I think if somebody's gonna come from another town, I'm in a welcoming stage right now. I don't see that lasting forever. I don't think the playground is so great that I'd come from another town, but it's a novelty. So people in Elk Grove are excited about it. They're sharing that. One of the things Tom mentioned a little bit, I had a great conversation with Bill a couple times. I've talked to Connie a couple times. I've talked to Lori on the phone for an hour. I've talked to Victor in person and on the phone. I'm listening. There are ways to mitigate it. I suggested a couple things that I am in favor of that might mitigate the situation if pickleball passes. The one thing I want to continue to hit home on, me personally, why I'm not so worried about the green space. I've said this to everybody. I've said it on air. Again, there's no soccer during the summer. When that field is open, fly a kite, throw a ball, do whatever you want. There's not, the splash pad in soccer and pickleball and the playground is not happening at the same time. But more importantly, and it's not like poking you guys, but the 5 buildings on Village on the Lake and the condo association and maybe even the townhouses, you do have access to acres that only you guys are entitled to fly a kite, kick a ball, play catch on. It's private property, but 50% of the people that might have a problem with the lack of our open space already have that open space. So I'm not as concerned that everybody needs this open space. So that's just kind of how I feel on open space. And I would rather mitigate some of the things. Well, that's your opinion, but 50% of people have plenty of open space. How they choose to use it is up to them. So that's how I feel about the supposed lack of open space.
Okay. In my opinion, I am a little worried about the parking. There's no question about it. I'll call it, I'm a little worried about the traffic. Let's put it that way. I do feel with other board members that it's not a wait and see type of thing, but it is somewhat like, okay, when does this start to settle down? If it starts to settle down a little bit, that doesn't mean we're not going to do anything. We just have to see what we have. And Connie, you said that. Why don't you sit back and see what we have? And that's kind of how I'm taking the parking. The first morning, we've all been through that park at least 3 times since it opened. I was like, well, this is not gonna work, right? There were both sides lined and there was cars blocking sidewalks to go from one street to the other. It was out of control. Couldn't even turn left for fear I was gonna hit somebody, right? So within 2 days, the village took it upon themselves. We didn't even ask them, they did it. That's not to mean that's the end all be all, right? We still have some time to see what we have. We'll go to the village. Village is in charge of the parking, but we could certainly ask them, this is how we feel. And to Victor, I agree 100% with what he's saying. So when you come in and the condominiums on the right, as you're gonna take a right to the park, they do use that as their residential parking. I get it 100%. You drive by there every night, there's at least 15 cars on the road. And I wanna see what we have for a couple weeks, and then we'll go back to the drawing board and we'll talk to the village and see if we come up with a solution. So I'm not ducking that topic by any stretch.
I just want to add one more thing about the parking too. I've been driving past there at least twice a day, sometimes three, during different times of the day. And except for the one grand opening and maybe one other time, was there parking on the street, okay? I went by today when they first opened at 10. There was probably 10, 15 spots left. Went by at about 1 o'clock and it was still not, no street parking. And I went back before the board meeting here and there was 10, 15 spots. No, it was hot today. So I'm just saying, we're never gonna have to build enough parking so that there's never street parking. But it should be very minimal and very minimal times versus if we had it at a park where there's no parking, then you always have street parking. The people at JC Park, I wish I could put a parking lot there, but we don't wanna put parking lots in every park we have. They're parking along the side of the streets there all the time, because that's a great park and the kids love it there. So there's a lot of cars on the weekends parked there. So, the situation we have at Marshall is greatly, it's gonna be less of a problem than any of the other parks that we might put it at. And, like I said, it's not, I don't wanna make it sound like every day, we're lining the streets with parking, because that has not been my experience going there every day and driving by there. And I will continue to do that, because I know it's an issue that concerns residents around there. And if it continues to be a problem, we're gonna find solutions. Okay, but.
Okay, so then I wanted to circle back to the open space. So prior to Marshall School being demoed, we had a soccer field there for 5 years, right? There wasn't that many games scheduled at that park. That was a lot of open space. It's 110 yards by I think like 60 or 70. So I'm not worried about the open space. When we get those fences down and the grass comes up and it's gonna be fine, that's a massive amount of land. Anybody has been able to use it as long as I've been there. There has never been anybody chased away. I take that back. One gentleman used to take his clubs out and hit golf balls, and that is strictly forbidden. That's the only person I've ever seen get chased out of Marshall Park on the open land. There's kite flying, there's softball games, there's pickup soccer games. I'm not in fear of the open space. I just think it's a bad visual right now with the snow fence and the hay over the grass seed. I'm gonna give that some time, so.
I've got one other point that I'd like to clarify for the residents that might be watching this or anybody that wants to go on social media. I am not on Facebook. I am not on social media. But I hear things. My daughter reads me things. It doesn't matter how I get the information. There's this point that the Park District is so dumb they didn't put in a gate at Boardwalk.
Oh, yeah, that was.
That we should have a gate at Boardwalk for those people. We met with their association, staff met with their association. They did not want a gate. They refused to have an entrance, and I think I know the reason. I wasn't there. You put a gate there, maybe people start parking in their lot, easy access to the park. But it was their choice not to have a gate. We at the Park District offered Boardwalk at our expense to have a gate. They chose not to. That's that issue. That's the facts behind no gate.
Can I just finish on that real quickly, and thank you for bringing it up because it was in my notes. It's my understanding, and Mark, you might be able to help me with this as well. It was my understanding that there was a gate that was built in between the property and Boardwalk. Am I correct with that?
It was in the original plan.
It was in the original plans, right. Boardwalk asked us to take it out. We did. And Ben, a resident came and said, hey, we want it back in, and we had already done it. And we were just like, we can't do that. We followed what you wanted.
It is a catch-22.
So I believe Ben left me, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mark. If they want to put the gate in, they can at their expense because we've already done the work.
We don't want it.
And agree, right? But to Bill's point, social media takes off,
Because they can't hear you.
and we're the bad guy because we didn't put in a gate. And yet we were actually following what that association wants, so, anyway.
I'll take the heat on that one.
I will too. I don't have a gate to give you, but the park district had a gate. So it's not my gate.
And then
Okay.
I also think we need to continue to work with the village on ways to mitigate parking, ways to enforce anybody that's cutting through private property, anybody that has people that are trying to access Marshall Park by cutting through the townhouses or parking in the quads parking. That's an issue that we all have to work through together. I'm not advocating at all that people should be going on private property or parking their vehicles where it shouldn't be. A few tows and a trespassing arrest, I think will also mitigate that, and I'm in favor of it, and I'll always be in favor of that. I'm trying to respect the people around there, but we don't control those that want to disobey the laws.
Okay. Anything else from the board?
No.
All right. Recommendations for acceptance of approval. 7A, approval of athletics advisory board members. I move that these individuals be appointed to serve a 2-year term as an advisory member to the following boards. Elk Grove Youth Football and Cheer Advisory Board, it's Colleen Nielsen and Nico Aguirre. Elk Grove Youth Basketball Advisory Board is Derek Foley. And that's it.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Okay. Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Cook,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Yes?
Commissioner Biecki,
Yes.
President Walz.
Yes. I need a motion and a second. Acceptance of a bid, acceptance of bid for Allied Painting Services, Inc. in Batavia, Illinois for the pavilion exterior painting project in the amount of $38,560. I need a motion and a second on that.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Cook,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Yes?
Commissioner Biecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
President Walz.
Yes. Approval of the pay request from Anthony Roofing Tecta America LLC for the administration building roof project in the amount of $84,573.48.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Yes?
Commissioner Biecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Cook,
Yes.
President Walz.
Yes. Approval of the change order from Upland Design of Plainfield for Marshall Park redevelopment project in the amount of $3,520.
So
I
moved.
recommend that the president find that the change order for a total of $3520 is in the best interest of the Park District and otherwise authorized by law, and that the president be directed to make such a determination in writing, and further authorize that upon being provided with said determination from the president, the executive director being hereby is authorized and directed to execute and deliver each such change order.
Second.
All right.
What Bill
Can I get a
said.
roll, can I get a roll call, please?
Yes,
You didn't get all those?
I did. Commissioner Biecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Cook,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Yes?
President Walz.
Yes. Approval of, I cannot say that word today. Approval of pay application number 9 for Hacienda Landscaping, Inc. of Panuca, Illinois for the Marshall Park redevelopment project in the amount of $429,401.05.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Cook,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Yes?
Commissioner Biecki,
Yes.
President Walz.
Yes.
Yeah, and John, I just wanted to note, I told Mark off air, I want to say it on air, when we get down to the nitty gritty, a couple $100,000 left, or, you know, what do we have on retainer? Let's watch it close, because of the progress that Hacienda has made. I want everything open, done, looked at, warranted, before I'm gonna approve any last payment to them, so that's all.
Yeah, there's usually a percentage of retention, right?
5%.
Yeah, so that's the one we'll take a peek at.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Along those lines,
Better
Mark,
10.
could you check
More than that.
the different equipment, exercise equipment around the parks? I had some people come up to me and say that some of it was not working smoothly, was stuck or whatever. I don't know if it needs to be greased or checked or,
I did.
Oh, did you? Okay.
It's supposed
Took a
to.
lot out of me, but I did. There's a dial on there that controls how hard it is, how tough it is.
did you put it on loose for,
So you, I had to put it on the easiest setting to get it going, but yeah, for sure, it takes a little getting used to as well.
Okay, great. Sorry, I didn't mean to have you work out over there. Yes, I did, I'm sorry.
Okay, leisure services
I
update.
think you had a motion second to do the end of roll call?
Yeah, we did that,
Okay.
didn't we? Did you get a vote for the,
Okay.
for Marshall Park?
I
Upland?
got a Hacienda,
Or
I
Hacienda?
didn't get payment of the bills.
No,
Not there yet.
Hacienda, that's good then.
Yeah, we
okay.
did.
Yeah, we're
We
good.
did Hacienda.
Okay.
Okay.
Items of information, leisure services update, Tiffany Green.
Awesome. Okay. So over at our Sheila Ray Adult Center, we have broke that 300 mark. We're at 306 members. In May, they had their spring bazaar. We also had a group of 30 go to the Potawatomi Casino. We had 99, a sold out show for the Vito's Auto Show. 77 participants for our Run for the Roses luncheon, and 25 individuals that went to Botanic Gardens. And aquatics, we had 23 private lessons for the month and 95 total swim lesson participants. Our aqua wellness numbers were at 1,088 for the month, and we had 2 sold out parents' nights out with 24 total participants. Our PAC outdoor pool is open for the season, and our staff received their first ever Stargard Elite audit in May and received 4 stars. In athletics, they're busy over there. We have our spring outdoor adult pickleball league. It has 14 teams, and they were halfway through their regular season, which will end at the end of June. And then the clinics ended on May 21st. They had 40 total participants in the 3 clinics, and currently we are running the intermediate pickleball clinic with 11 students. We have our men's summer basketball league happening right now with 8 total teams, and all of our adult softball leagues are about halfway through their season. For our youth athletics, we have our girls softball season coming to an end soon with all-star games and activities June 14th and 15th. And playoffs will be June 17th. And then registration is open for the fall season. Basketball Summer League has 103 registrations to date. Practices are slated to begin June 15th with games on June 29th. Travel baseball tournament prep has begun. 5 out of the 7 leagues will be having tournaments June 28th through 30th. Football and cheer registration is open, and they have 94 tackle football players, 10 flag football players, and 59 cheerleaders so far. Registration for the 24-25 travel soccer season has begun, and there are 181 players registered this time. House baseball has a couple weeks left. They have their home run derby and all-star games also coming up June 14th and 15th. Audubon Skate Park, in the month of May, there were 11 private skateboarding lessons, and group lessons had 9 participants. For cultural arts, the spring music recital was May 23rd with 14 students performing. For dance, the company auditions took place May 27th, and the recital themed Come Together took place June 8th and 9th at Harper College. For preschool, they celebrated 52 of their 3-year-olds with an end-of-year celebration and 65 of their 4-year-olds with preschool graduation on May 21st and 22nd. In the fitness center, our Group X numbers for the month of May were up 2,114. Personal training that was at 164 sessions for the month, and open gym had 546 drop-ins. The rejuvenation area had 1,582 check-ins for the month of May. We are selling the summer membership pass sales. They ended at the end of May. For this report, at the time, we had 81 total passes sold by the end of May. So for a museum, visitation at the museum was continuing to grow with 33 total participants in programs throughout the month of May, 22 drop-in visitors compared to 7 in May of last year. Pirates Cove is now open. There were 425 total daily admissions over opening weekend. Rainbow Falls is now also open. A little slower start to their daily admissions because we had a colder Memorial weekend at 223 for daily admissions. For rentals, we were at 109 in the month of May compared to 75 last year. And then the new Catch Corner company that we were working with also had 13 total Pavilion Gym bookings for the month.
Hi, Tiffany. Have we had any issues with people getting into the park, where we used to have like lines, long lines, it took people like half hour, 40 minutes to get in. Have we experienced any of that yet? And
So I skipped that, but that's in the report. I was just trying to shorten it up. So we actually changed up, we did some queuing changes. So we added a new queuing system, and then we are also adding new queuing signage in multiple languages to also help ease that process. We haven't had a hot enough weekend today yet to really put it all to the test, but we're hoping some of the new processes we put in place will prevent that.
okay, great.
So, school year, or school care programs, so Kids Club had 2,421 registrations for the month of May and 18,691 total for the school year. So we have a ton of stuff coming up that I want to chat about really quick. So June 14th, tomorrow, is our first movie in the park. It'll be at 8 p.m. at Pavilion Field. And we are going to be showing the movie Migration, so that is free. On June 19th, we have our Art at the Park event. It's from 3 to 5 p.m. at Appleseed Park. That is also a free event. June 22nd, we have our Family Fishing Day from 9 to noon at Johnson Park. We would like you to pre-register just so we know how many to expect, but this event is also free. June 26th, another Art at the Park event from 1 to 3 at Olmsted. June 28th will be our second movie in the park. We are going to be showing Elemental at 8 p.m. at Pavilion Field. June 23rd, we have our River Run 5K at Rainbow Falls from 8:30 to 10:30. Registration is required and all ages are welcome. July 3rd, another Art at the Park from 3 to 5 at JC Park, free event. July 10th, Art at the Park 1 to 3 at Roosevelt Park, free event. And then July 12th, we're doing a new tween night foam and slime party from 6 to 8:30 at the Pavilion. Ages 9 to 11, pre-registration required. And that's all.
That'll be a fun cleanup.
I just
Yeah.
want to repeat one of the main things you said. Free.
Yeah, during the summer,
Can't
you
beat
know,
that,
during the summer, we try to do a really good job of offering a lot of free programs to our residents.
Yeah, well, families that are having, difficulty in these economic times, it's great to be able to provide those free events in the community, so take advantage of them.
Okay, Parks and Planning update, Mark?
So as we've been talking about, Marshall Park is open. It's open with great success so far. I think the kids are really enjoying it. Never seen that many kids on a playground at one time. They're having a blast, and it's great to see. Staff is excited about it as well. We put together a pretty thorough plan to manage the amount of people that are coming in, whether it's dealing with garbage or restrooms. If anybody sees anything, please let us know so that we can deal with it right away. We want to be on top of all those, any possible situation that could arise. As Bill had alluded to, we would ask also that anybody visiting the park respect our neighbors. Don't cut through private property. Keep your dogs on leashes. Pick up after your dogs. Maybe keep them out of the playground so as to not disturb the kids or do anything they shouldn't do where kids are playing. And like I said, just overall respect to our neighbors. We're growing in the inside of the park.
On Marshall Park, I just want to clarify too, I checked with Ben, they're going to pick up daily the garbage and clean the bathrooms when they go to lock it up, is that correct?
Yeah,
Multiple times.
so I can go in that a little bit deeper. I have my staff going out there 3 times a day. They go out there first thing in the morning to check the trash and the restrooms. Custodial staff goes out there before 10 o'clock to clean the bathrooms. My staff will go out midday and towards the end of their day just to check the garbage, check the restrooms, and then security will go in at 9 o'clock to lock everything up.
Okay.
So then on the weekends, we're also going to make sure that staff is going in there and doing checks as well.
And then the only other thing you might want to add, I would suggest you add, is maybe a quick ride on the perimeter along the fence lines where I know it was in one of the emails we got, somebody found some beer cans or something, I mean, in the park, kids are gonna do stuff, so if you check that perimeter, that's where they would throw it, not everybody throws it in the trash can like they're supposed to, but maybe just a quick
Definitely.
run with, along the perimeter to make sure it's not along the property lines, we're not getting any garbage built up there.
Definitely.
Okay.
definitely. The inside of the park is being grown in right now. We just had all the seed put down. There's erosion control blankets to help the grow in. We have it fenced off so that no one can go inside and disturb any of that while it grows in. It might be wetter than normal. It also will allow, once we get the detention areas done, to get the wildflowers that are going to be placed in that area to grow in really nice. The ball fields at Lions Park were completed this week, and they look fantastic. The new material is going to greatly reduce the amount of dust in those fields, and I was just out there this morning. They look great. Also, the Pavilion Fitness Center project is slated to begin next week, Monday. The majority of the work being done in the first 2 weeks is going to be demolition, and that will be done in the evening hours as to not disrupt patrons. And then there will be some work during the day, so that might hear some noises. We're going to keep everybody abreast of what's going on through our website, and if they are interested, they can tune in to see what work is being done.
Any other questions for Mark?
I was reading this as you're saying, so sorry if I missed it, but did you talk about how you're actually in the progress of trying to stripe and get some arrows at Marshall Park? Because you have people coming in both directions on the one side and both directions on the other side. And when it was a school, it was, the first entrance was one direction and they came out the other way. So
I didn't say that, but we are doing that. I talked to staff, and they're going to work on doing that because there is some confusion as how people come in and out. The entire parking lot was redone and striped, and so it wasn't put back the way that it initially was. So we need to add those arrows in there to help direct traffic. As we go through the first few weeks, we're going to identify a lot of these things, and we're acting on them right away. Bike racks was something that was brought to our attention right away, the parking lot as well. So there's going to be things, let us know what we can do.
Okay.
Okay, marketing communications update. Kelly?
Okay, there we go.
Double duty?
Put that hat on. Okay. Marketing team has been very busy assisting Leisure Services as well as Parks and Planning and Fox Run Driving Range, making sure that all the facilities were, up to speed with all the signage and all the marketing and all the advertising that needed to be in place prior to our seasonal openings. So that went well. We also did a lot of promotion for the Art and Culture in the Park event that took place last Sunday. A little windy day, but aside from that, I think everyone that attended had a good time. Again, another free event. So we had a couple of musical performances, and it was a nice event. The biggest thing that we have as far as PR-wise is taking place this coming Tuesday. And this is going to be on Fox 32, the Good Day Chicago show. And they're going to be broadcasting from Pirates Cove. And we're doing 3 separate segments. And this was something that was it was really a partnership with Meet Chicago Northwest, where they set this up for us, and they are really focusing in on, different things that you could do in the suburbs, but they want to highlight Pirates Cove as being such a unique facility. And so we're going to get a lot of great airtime on that Tuesday morning. So I've been working closely with Catherine on that project, and our colleagues from the Convention of Visitors Bureau, Meet Chicago Northwest. So that'll be, everybody tunes in next Tuesday morning. It will be on Fox 32 at 7:30, 8:30, and 9:30. They're going to be doing 3 separate segments. If for some reason, if the weather is inclement, then we plan to move everything into Jumps and Jiggles. And so I've sent them video that we've taken, drone shots and things like that of Pirates Cove and some of our, other amenities. And so they're going to be showing that, but we're going to be doing the broadcast from Jumps and Jiggles.
Hopefully it's a nice day.
I hope it is too, because, and it was actually scheduled for this morning, but at the very last minute, they had to pull and reschedule to next Tuesday, so. yeah, we'll
If
see.
anybody wants to try and get on TV, they should show up at Pirates Cove.
They should be there by 7 a.m.
Okay.
And, because I know it's really early, but, yes, they should, 7 a.m. And then the other thing I just wanted to make a mention, I know Commissioner Cook has asked in the past, and we talked a lot about, some of our website analytics and different things like that. And so I just wanted to bring it to everybody's attention. We're really growing with our website traffic. And I think a lot of it has to do with, we've added a lot of video to the website. So it might take a little bit longer to load, but once it gets loaded onto your devices, it's very interesting because we've done some video and we completely revamped the website. So our users, just in May, we were up 36,000 views. Now, of course, a lot of it is because they want to know what time Pirates Cove is opening and what time Rainbow Falls and admissions and things like that. So it's always more in the summer. But, it's nice to know that when they get to the website, they're staying on there longer and, seeing some of the things that we're doing. So that is pretty much all I have to share today. Does anybody have any questions?
I don't know how long ago it was, but I remember Pirates Cove was on Channel 9 News in the morning.
It was many years ago. That was actually
Yeah.
more than 10 years
And
ago.
there was
It
an
before my
inrush.
Oh, my
time.
God. Well, Diana.
There was an inrush like the next couple of weeks because, of course, people
Yeah.
saw and heard and came and enjoyed, so.
Yeah, so I know that Brad is not here, but is anybody gonna talk about Fox Run at all? No. I just wanted to make mention that we've got this coming Saturday, Sam Savage is gonna be at Fox Run
Meaning
performing.
June 15th, in case they don't
Yes.
flash the date.
Okay, June 15th. From 7 to 10, it's a Motown jazzy style band, so that would be great. And then a fan favorite is coming back on July 27th, which is Dueling Pianos. There is a $5 cover charge for that, but well worth the $5. And then we have Rob Post coming back on August 3rd. And then the other thing I wanted to mention, because I'm working with Fox Run on this right now, but on July 12th is going to be the 40th anniversary of Fox Run. And so they're doing a four-man scramble out on four-man, four-woman on July 12th. And so he's putting together some great swag and a really nice event on July 12th. So people should sign up for that early because I am positive that it's gonna sell out.
It's rare that, it's really rare for one of those associates that are golf course doesn't sell out.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great event. And we found some historical newspaper clippings from when Fox Run opened. And so we were able to blow those up. It's big poster size. We found some old pictures and I think it'll be really fun, little nostalgia.
You know what's a shame is Janet Christie, when they bulldozed the old building, she came across 1,000 old pictures. And I think we moved them to the basement. And I'm pretty sure that most of them are gone when we had the flood.
Don't be so sure.
Oh,
No,
good.
because we have a different side of the
I
basement.
might see myself with hair.
I built that.
That'd be great.
You did. So, yeah.
Kelly, the only other thing on Fox Run, Scott and I are on the committee, and we've heard a couple hundred people over the last couple years wish for the return of the pig roast.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that used to get between 100 to 150 people on a Sunday, usually near the back end of October, where it wasn't a big golf day, but we were able to fill up the clubhouse. They had raffles, food. Obviously, they've got the football games on. So we found somebody that is actually interested in, so staff is working with this particular vendor. So we anticipate that the pig roast will be back.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
So, obviously, more details to come.
Okay. Well, thank
Okay.
you.
All good? Any old business? Any new business? Okay, payment of the bills. May 24th, 2024, in the amount of $507,592.30. May 31st, 2024, in the amount of $183,287.77. And June 7th, 2024, in the amount of $173,529.99.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Okay. Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes?
Commissioner Biecki?
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson?
Yes.
President Walls?
Yes, and at this point, I need a motion and a second to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes, Kelly.
Commissioner Biecki?
Yes.
That's a new one.
Commissioner Carlson?
Yes, Kelly.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
And President Walls?
Yes, our next meeting is Thursday, June 27th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Thank you all.
Davey knows a thing or two about getting results. So do we. Elk Grove Village can help your business get big.